Hello everyone, it's Rebecca Woodhead here from RebeccaWoodhead.com for the great Edward Elliott's Share Your Dream Friday. And my big dream is to become an Amazon best-selling author, hopefully with my first novel, Palaces and Calluses. Now the reason for this is not because I'm some massive great fan of Amazon, although you know they're very handy and all the rest of it, but it's because it's such a recognised label, that Amazon bestseller thing. You don't have to explain it to anybody. And it occurs to me that if I become an Amazon bestseller, then that is something that will be wonderful, but it will also help me to help other people. The reason being that I am an independently published author, and I've got a little bit of a backstory. And my backstory is that I'm a coma survivor, and I taught myself to speak and read and write myself after being told that there was no chance that I would ever reach the same dizzying heights as my peers. And so I think if people are struggling with writing, which a lot of people do, and there's lots of different reasons that aspiring authors give for not writing books, anything from their English teacher was uninspiring to they are struggling financially, or they're struggling with time, or they're struggling in some way or other. And I think if somebody who has taught themselves to read and write and been completely illiterate and not able to say a single word can write a novel and publish it themselves, then that's something, you know, and become an Amazon bestseller, then that's going to give anybody, I would have thought, would give anybody some hope. My dream is to bring characters into the world that people wish were real people. So, you know, the kind of characters where you're reading a book and you just kind of disappear into the book and it feels like you're having a conversation with a friend. And by the end of the book you feel like you know one of the characters or two of the characters really well, and you wish you could just phone them up, and you kind of miss them a couple of days later and you wish that you could go out and have coffee with them and you know, and have a chat. I want to write those kinds of characters that really touch people and stay with them. I write quite feisty characters, and I think even though I put them in very difficult positions sometimes, they have their faults. They're very flawed. I don't write any perfect characters because I don't think there are any perfect people. But they have an inner resilience, or they find a way to be resilient. And I think that's one of the best traits that someone can develop. If you're in a really difficult position and you read a book that's got characters in like that, and you can recognise yourself in those characters, or you can recognise what they're going through, and they're, you know, in that kind of a situation, that if you have strong enough characters, it can help to lift you up, it can help to take you out of that situation, even if just in your mind, and even if just for a little while. And I had a couple of people in mind when I wrote the first book that I hoped would contact me, kinds of people in specific situations who were feeling particular ways. And there were 3 people in particular that I had in mind. And within about a week, 2 of them had contacted me to tell me they'd read my book, and it had completely changed their lives. So I'm waiting to hear from the 3rd one. Maybe they've read it, I don't know. Maybe they've read it and just not got back to me yet. But really, mission accomplished for that book already, which is wonderful. But my big dream for that book is for it to become an Amazon bestseller. I just want to tell really good stories. But yeah, so those are my dreams. And also, I was a .com pioneer. I was involved in web business back in the late 90s, and so I'm very interested in helping people who are nervous about getting into business on their own, maybe, because I know there are a lot of people at the moment who've been made redundant and are now starting to become self-employed for the first time, and they're absolutely terrified because they've always been in an employed situation. I'm happy to, you know, I want to help people like that, and I particularly want to help people at the kind of crossing of those 2 things. So maybe people who are interested in writing and they're interested in publishing themselves, or they're interested in writing and they also want to understand the business side of that, even if they go the traditional routes. I think I can really help people like that. So, so I want to write wonderful characters. I want to become an Amazon bestseller, and I want to inspire aspiring authors, and I want to help give direction to aspiring directors. So that's lots of different dreams, but they're my dreams. So thank you very much for letting me share my dreams with you. My name is Rebecca Woodhead, and you can find me at rebeccawoodhead.com and also on Twitter, where I am at Rebecca Woodhead. Thanks for listening.